Daddy Jackie has devoted her life to the practice of meditation, the love of truth, and service of others. Daddy Jackie's tale unfolds during the first quarter of the century, against the background of India, in the northwestern province of Sindh, now in Pakistan. Love for truth and generosity of heart pulled her to a view of the world where national boundaries dissolved. First, she rose above the social and cultural expectations common for women at the time. She chose to make her spiritual growth and serving others the focus of her life. In 1937, she entered the Brahma Kumaris University, established at that time by Brahma Baba, dedicated to developing the power of the mind through meditation and study. The pathway of her journey led her to the West in 1974 to establish the first BK Meditation Center in the UK, in London. The first center in Canada was opened in Toronto in 1979, and the Vancouver Center in 1993. Daddy Jackie's vision was that everyone from all cultures has the right to develop inner power and peace of mind. In 1978, scientists at the Medical and Science Research Institute at the University of Texas described her as the most stable mind in the world. Her mental state remained completely undisturbed whilst undergoing brainwave pattern tests. Daddy Jackie, a woman with little formal education and very few personal possessions, began to tour the world, lovingly encouraging people of all faiths to be true to their spirituality. She wanted to share the method that brought her so far. In the 1980s, Daddy's role gained further prominence when the Brahma Kumaris were given affiliation and later general consultative status at the United Nations as a non-governmental organization. In 1986, Daddy launched the Million Minutes of Peace Appeal. This appeal collected not money from people, but minutes of peace and quiet reflection. Such was its success that it became the largest non-fundraising project for the United Nations during the International Year of Peace. In 1988, at the Houses of Parliament in London, Daddy launched Global Cooperation for a Better World, the first United Nations Peace Messenger initiative. This project collected the visions of people in over 120 countries for positive change. Many of those visions subsequently became reality. In the 1990s, Daddy's wisdom and contribution to peace was formally recognized when she was invited to become one of the Wisdom Keepers. A group of eminent leaders convened at large UN gatherings to provide a spiritual perspective in critical areas of concern in the world. As joint administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris, Daddy Jackie continues to work tirelessly for peace in the world, believing that peace is a state of being that comes from knowing the self deeply and from connecting with the energy of the Supreme. This tiny woman's immense charisma lies in the way she spreads light through people's lives, leaving imprints and echoes of the strength of a truly quiet mind. Daddy, which means elder sister, will speak in Hindi. Her translator is Sister Kala from New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Daddy Jackie.
Om Shanti. Everyone can join in saying Om Shanti.
शांत में बैठे हैं, प्रेम से बैठे हैं, इतने बड़े संगठन में बैठे हुए भी जैसे एक परमात्मा के साथ बैठे।
We are sitting here in peace. We are sitting here with a lot of love. We are sitting here all together, and yet it feels that we are all sitting with God.
प्राचीन ज़माने को याद करते सभी।
Everyone remembers the ancient days.
आज के ज़माने में न शांति है, न प्रेम है, न खुशी है, न अंदर की शक्ति है।
Because in this age, we don't find the internal peace, the love, the happiness, the wisdom.
विश्व भर में जहाँ भी जाओ ना, दुनिया के कोई भी कोने में जाओ ना, तो ये चार चीजें हैं।
You can go to any four corners of the world and try to see if they have these things.
शांति, खुशी, प्रेम, शक्ति,
peace, happiness, love, and power. Do these four things exist?
कितना भी पैसा खर्च करो, शांति मिलती है।
You can spend a lot of money, but do you find peace?
आपस में देख करके जैसे भी बहुत खुश हो रहे हैं, ऐसे कभी ऐसी खुशी में रहता हुआ देखा है?
Do you see that people, when they meet together, are so happy and they maintain that happiness?
अकेले रहकर भी खुशी नहीं है, 5 के बीच में भी नहीं है, 10 के बीच, हजारों के बीच में हम खुश हो रहे हैं।
They're not able to be happy when they're by themselves. They're not able to be happy when they're with a few other people, and they're not able to be happy with many people. But we see that we are able to remain happy in the midst of thousands of people.
सिर्फ ये इंतजार रहा है, प्राचीन जमाने में क्या था, कितनी अच्छी विजडम थी, वो फिर से हमारे पास आ जाए।
But definitely there is the feeling that in the ancient times there was such wisdom that could bring us all these things, and so let us have that wisdom again.
ऐसी विजडम के लिए कोई यूनिवर्सिटी है सारे अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंग्लैंड, इंडिया?
Is there any university that is able to give us that kind of wisdom in the whole world, in America, in Australia, in any part of the world?
जो बहुत मैं तो कहाँ जाती हूँ, किसी घरों में भी जाती हूँ, इतने बुक्स देख करके अक्षर छोटे से मैं कहती कैसे पढ़ते थे, क्या अच्छा भगवान मैंने ये सब पढ़ाई नहीं किया।
I travel the world a lot and I visit many homes and I see books, shelves upon shelves of books upon books, and they're all books with very tiny writing, and when I see them and when I see them reading it, I say, how must they be reading it? And I say to God, oh God, it's a good thing that I haven't read so much.
एक लंदन में कॉमनवेल्थ इंस्टीट्यूट में एक प्रोग्राम रखा था प्रोग्राम मनुष्य का दिमाग है, मनुष्य का दिमाग है। क्या मनुष्य के दिमाग में आजकल इंफॉर्मेशन, कितनी न्यूज़, क्या पेपर्स, कितनी मैगजीन, मनुष्य का दिमाग है।
Once there was a program in the Commonwealth Institute in London, and there was an image of the human brain, and it was shown very clearly how much information this brain has of so many different images, so many different news items.
बाकी विश्व भर में आजकल कंप्यूटर जहाँ जाओ कंप्यूटर।
And then of course in the world today, anywhere you look around, there are computers and nothing but computers.
कंप्यूटर के बगैर कुछ काम ही नहीं चल सकता है।
Nothing happens without computers these days.
मनुष्य की बुद्धि कहाँ गई?
And so what has happened to the human intellect?
कमाना है तो कंप्यूटर से, खाना है तो खाना देखना ढूंढना हो ना कंप्यूटर से।
For earning, you need computer. For feeding yourself, for For finding out what's a good food to eat and to buy, you need computers. For everything, you need computers.
कहाँ गई वो सच्चाई, कहाँ गई वो सफाई, कहाँ गई वो सादगी?
Where is that truth? Where is that cleanliness? Where is that simplicity?
और हमारे से कोई पूछते हैं तुम खुश कैसे रहती हो? मैंने कहा सच्चाई है मन में, सफाई से रहना है और सादगी से रहना है.
So when anybody asks me, how do you stay happy? I say that there is truth in the heart and that I have to stay very clean and simple. I must have never felt that I'm too rich or I'm too poor. Someone who is rich will say, oh, I have so much, I have this, I have that. And someone who is poor will say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that.
गरीब का नाम सुने पे इसके पास पैसा नहीं है, पैसा नहीं पर त्याग है.
Yes, the poor ones, they may not have physical wealth, but they do have love.
मैं तो शाहूकार से डरती हूँ.
I get scared of rich people.
जिसके पास धन होगा ना, उनके घर में पानी पीना भी पसंद नहीं करेंगे, प्यार तो नहीं है ना.
Because even they may be rich, but I get scared even to drink a glass of water in their house because they don't have love.
आज के ज़माने में जो अच्छा पढ़ा लिखा है, जो अच्छा लीडर है, जो अच्छा नाम जिसका पोजीशन बड़ा है, वो अच्छा माना जाता है. और हमारे जैसे सादे कौन मानेगा? अरे भगवान मानेगा तो बच्चा मेरा सच्चा बच्चा है ना.
In these days,
जिसका सच्चा है, अच्छा है.
Those who are well read, those who are leaders, those who are in position, everybody will feel that they are very good. And who will feel that we are good when we are so simple? Yes, it will be God who will feel that, yes, this is my true child, and so I like this one.
प्राचीन बातें मैं कहते 1000 सालों की छोड़ती हूँ, युगों की बात छोड़ती हूँ. सत्युग कैसा था, त्रेता कैसा था, द्वापर कैसा था, अब कलयुग कैसा है.
So I'm not even going to talk about ages upon ages, but just let's think about how it was golden age, the time of golden age, the time of the silver age, the time of copper age, and now the time of iron age for humanity.
सत्युग था तो स्वर्ग था.
When it was the golden age, it was like heaven.
देवी देवताओं का राज्य था, एक धर्म था, एक राजा था, एक भाषा थी.
It was the kingdom of deities. There was one kingdom, there was one religion, and one language.
संपूर्ण निर्विकारी देवताएं थे, सर्वगुण संपन्न थे, 16 कला संपूर्ण थे.
They were completely viceless, they were completely all virtuous, and we call them as 16 celestial degrees full and perfect.
जब थे कहते हैं, जिसके मंदिरों में यादगार है, थे कहते तो थे ना, अभी वो कहाँ है?
We usually say that they were, that they did exist, and we have memorials of them standing in many of the temples across the world. So what happened to them? If they did exist, what happened to them? Where are they now?
चलो जिन्होंने मंदिर बनाया, जो ट्रस्टी रहे, जो पुजारी भी रहे, पर किसके हैं?
Yes, even those who have built those temples, who take care of those temples as trustees, but do they know who they are?
उसी समय इस दुनिया में पाप का नाम निशान, झूठ का नाम निशान नहीं था.
And at that time, you will say that there wasn't even the name or trace of any negativity, any sin at all in the world.
हीरे जवाहर थे, पर आज हीरे जवाहर सच्चे नहीं पहन सकते हैं, डर लगता है. झूठे पहन करके घूमते हैं, सच्चों को कहते हैं कि घूमेंगे.
There were diamonds and jewels, and today even if you have diamonds and jewels, whatever little you have, but you cannot even wear them and openly walk around. You have to wear artificial gems.
प्राचीन जमाने में मनुष्य का आहार कैसा था? शुद्ध आहार, कितना अच्छा.
And in the ancient times, how was the eating, the food habits of human beings? What kind
विचार कितने अच्छे, श्रेष्ठ.
And their thoughts, they were so elevated.
व्यवहार आपस में कितना प्यार का. सो अभी हमारे सदी के अंदर 20वीं सदी में हमारी लाइफ में 100 लोग इकट्ठे फैमिली में इकट्ठे रहे हैं.
And the dealings amongst ourselves as people living together, that used to be so full of love. Even in this time, even in my own lifetime, I have seen how 100 people could live together in a family that live very peacefully and lovingly.
घर में मिलकर के भोजन बना के खाया होगा, खिलाया होगा.
They would have all been cooking together, eating together, feeding each other.
आजकल तो घर में भोजन बनाने का फुर्सत नहीं. घर का खाना कौन खाएगा? चाइनीज रेस्टोरेंट में जाओ, इंडियन में जाओ, फलाने में जाओ.
These days,
जब वो खाना खाओ तब सोने खाना खाया.
These days, no one has the time even to cook, and they are just looking forward to go here, there, Chinese food today, Italian food tomorrow, and so they don't have time to cook the food and eat
दुनिया में
together.
गरीबी बहुत है.
And of course, in today's world, there is a lot of poverty,
कितना झूठ.
a lot of falsehood.
गरीबी बहुत है. पैसा कहाँ है? कहाँ जाता है?
So where is all the money? Where does it all go?
कल परसों मैक्सिको में थी, कल सियाटल में थी, आज यहाँ देखा. मैंने कहा ये दुनिया में 100 साल के अंदर क्या से क्या बन गई है. और बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंग से है, सब शीशा ही शीशा है.
Day before yesterday, I was in Mexico. Yesterday, I was in Seattle. Today, I am in Vancouver. But I've been looking around and feeling that in the last 100 years, so much has been created by human beings. Such tall
सभी
buildings,
को आज
all glass.
शांति, प्रेम, खुशी, शक्ति चाहिए.
Everyone today needs peace, happiness, love, and power.
सबको चाहिए, इसलिए तो आए हैं.
Everyone needs this, and this is why you all come here, isn't it?
अंदर से झूठ को तलाक दो.
So now give divorce to falsehood from inside.
झूठ अंदर में असल न रखो.
Don't keep any kind of falsehood inside.
असल आत्मा में सत्य स्वरूप.
Just realize that I, the soul, am an embodiment of truth.
बाहर के वातावरण का, संगत का, पढ़ाई का, पालने का सब झूठ अंदर भर गया है.
There has been a lot of falsehood filled inside because of the environment that we live in, the company that we are exposed to, and because of our studies and the sustenance that we are given.
जिस कारण सच्चा होकर के रहना दुनिया में मुश्किल लगता है.
And this is why it seems very difficult for many people to live honestly the true life.
हम कहेंगे सच्चे बनो ना, कहेंगे ट्रायल करेंगे, और झूठ के बनने की ट्रायल नहीं किया. झूठे बन गए, सच्चे बनेंगे तो ट्रायल करेंगे.
If I say to someone, live honestly, live a true life, they'll say, okay, I will try. But it's not that they had to make a trial for living a life of falsehood.
सिर्फ इतनी समझ चाहिए. हमारी गीता के अंदर भगवान की महावाक्य है, और हम भी नहीं समझते थे तभी. मेरे को जानने के लिए तेरे को बुद्धि दिले चाहिए, दृष्टि भी दिले चाहिए. देखने के लिए दृष्टि दिले चाहिए, जानने के लिए बुद्धि दिले चाहिए. ये बुद्धि तुम्हारी मेरे को जान नहीं सकेगी, ये आंखें मेरे को देख नहीं सकेगी.
You need just a little bit of understanding for all of this. Even in the scripture Gita, I used to read these words that in order to know me, you need an intellect that is divine and eyes, vision that is also divine. You will not be able to recognize me through these physical eyes, and you will not be able to know me through the human intellect.
तो सिर्फ आज हर एक अपने आंखों से देखे. सारी मेरी आंख क्या देखती है सारा दिन.
So just look at yourself and ask yourself, what do my eyes see holding?
अपन को कैसे देखती है, दुनिया को कैसे देखते हैं, भगवान को देखने की फुर्सत है.
How do I see myself? How do I see others around me? And do I even have the time to look at God, see God?
अपन को सिर्फ ये देखते हैं.
We see ourselves only for our physical face,
अंदर में कौन हूँ
beauty.
वो देखने की जानने की फुर्सत ही नहीं है.
There's no time to look inside and see how I am, what I am inside.
अंदर में कौन हूँ.
So who am I inside?
आंखों से चर्मचक्षियां हैं, आंखें देखना धोखा देने वाली है, दुख पैदा करने वाली है.
These eyes are part of our senses and they can deceive us.
ये कान से जो बातें सुनते हो ना, क्या सुनते हो?
And what do I hear through these tears?
जो बातें सुनते हैं, देखते हैं, उनसे क्या सुख पाते हैं?
Whatever I see, whatever I hear, do I receive happiness through all of that?
मुख से जो बोलते हो, क्या बोलते हो, किसको कितना सुख देते हो मुख से?
And whatever I speak through the mouth, am I able to give happiness through that?
ऐसा बोल मुख से निकले, अंदर से सच्चाई और प्यार वाले दूसरे को शांति तो देवे।
Let such words emerge from my mouth that I am able to share truth, I am able to share happiness and peace with others. I was noticing that when they were singing and when the music was being played, this sitar music, everyone liked it a lot, isn't it?
अच्छी भावना से करते हैं तो अच्छा लगता है ना?
When someone does something with good feelings, everyone likes it.
वायुमंडल मनुष्य को अच्छा चाहिए।
Human being needs very good atmosphere.
एक संग अच्छा चाहिए।
Needs good company.
दूसरी अंदर की समझ जरूर चाहिए।
And definitely also needs understanding, inner wisdom.
और वायुमंडल अच्छा हो, शुद्ध।
And the atmosphere should be very clean.
जिसमें शांति मिले।
So that you're able to experience peace in that
प्रेम
atmosphere.
मिले, सच्चा प्रेम मिले।
That you're able to experience and receive true love.
उसमें शक्ति आए।
So that you get power from it.
अंदर डर बहुत है, हर एक को बहुत डर है।
Each one here has a lot of fear.
मौत का डर तो है ही, मौत का डर तो है ही, परंतु जीने में भी डर है।
Yes, of course, there is the fear of death. But even while living in life, there is a lot of fear.
पता नहीं क्या होगा, क्या होगा, क्या होगा।
I don't know what will happen next. What will happen next?
मैं ये भावना से बड़े प्यार से कहते हैं, डरो मत।
And I will tell you, and I tell you this with a lot of love for you, that don't get scared. Don't have fear. Those who have truth never get scared.
झूठे जो है ना, डरते हैं, झूठ अपना ही मन खाता है।
Those who have falsehood are the ones who experience fear, because it is a falsehood.
काम करते समय नहीं सोचता है, जो किया वही डर लगता है।
It's the falsehood that bites your conscience. Human being, when he makes some mistake, wrong action, he doesn't think at that time, but after doing it, it definitely bites the conscience.
आज तक नाटक से निर्वाणी कहानियाँ सुनते पढ़ते हैं ना, देखते हैं ना, हमने कभी नहीं देखा।
These days there is so much of drama and plays and movies, but I'm not used to all of that. I've never seen those things.
कहानियाँ बहुत सुनी है, प्राचीन जमाने में कैसे थे, अंत समय परमात्मा की याद करे, घर में प्रेम रहे, अकेले है तो ईश्वर को याद करे, सारे फैमिली में दुनिया में भी ईश्वर की याद दिलावे, वो है इंसान।
But I have heard a lot of stories that how there should be a lot of love inside, even in the final moments. Let there just be the remembrance of God, and let there be a lot of love amongst each other in the family. This is real human life.
न मन में दुविधा, न किसी के साथ द्वैत भाव। द्वैत भाव जो है ना, बड़ा अंदर से सच्चाई को कर देता है, स्वार्थ भाव पैदा करता है, दुविधा अपन में डाउट। सच्चाई अपने आप से सच्चा रहना सहज नहीं है।
There is a lot of doubt within the self, and there is a lot of conflictual feelings towards others, negative feelings towards others, and so you're not able to create that relationship of love with each other based on truth. There's doubt and there's conflict.
शब्द कितना अच्छा है।
And I was noticing
क्या से क्या बना देता है।
the slide on wisdom. Even the word wisdom is so good. That wisdom is able to create human beings.
बोलना बहुत थोड़ा।
That wisdom, through wisdom,
आवश्यक है वो बोलेंगे।
You don't have to speak a lot. Just a few words. Just what is necessary.
सोचना तो उनसे भी थोड़ा।
And to think, you have to think even less than that.
क्या सोचे?
What is there to think about? What is there to think about? What should we think about?
नेगेटिव ख्याल तो आता ही नहीं, कभी आ नहीं सकता है।
There are no negative thoughts at all.
कोई और कुछ करता है तो ठीक है, ठीक हो जाएगा। मैं उसके बदले ये क्यों करता है, ये भी नहीं क्या करना है।
Even if someone else does something negative, but I'll say that okay, it's okay, it will become all right. He will also learn.
ये क्या करता है, ये क्या करता है, ये मैं आगे देखी कान सुने तो मेरे आँख कान कैसा हो जाएगी, फिर कैसी हो जाएगी।
Not that I should sit and watch them, what they're doing, how they're doing, why they're doing. So if I'm noticing all of this, how my eyes will be, how my ears will be, how my face will be.
जैसे आप बाहर निकलते हो, घर से बाहर जहाँ पर जाएंगे, कहाँ स्कूल में जाएंगे, कहाँ पर भी जाएंगे, अपना फेस अच्छा बना के
Whenever you leave your home, when you leave your home, you usually want to make sure that your face looks proper, and you look in the mirror and say that you will put your lipstick, your makeup, and all of that. I don't know about all that, but you want to look proper, isn't it, when you go out?
ये फेस जो है ना, ऐसा वो cheerful.
But the face should be so cheerful always.
अच्छा मुस्कुरा के खुद भी खुश और भी कोई देखे खुश.
Always smiling so that not only I'm happy, but anyone looking at my face also becomes happy.
वो खुशी अंदर सदा ऐसी जैसे खजाना है.
So that happiness is our treasure, inner treasure.
किसी के लिए भी मन में बुरा ख्याल आ नहीं सकता.
We cannot have any negative thoughts for anyone whatsoever.
भले कुछ भी है, लेकिन मेरी आंखें देखे क्यों, कान सुने क्यों?
Whatever it may be, whoever the person may be, but why should my eyes see it, and why should my ears hear it?
ये मुख मेरा है.
This face is mine.
आत्मा शरीर में बैठी हुई है.
The soul is sitting in this body.
तो दुनिया को ऐसा ऊपर का श्रृंगार दिखाने के लिए क्या मास्क पहनते हैं, वो पहन करके दिखाने के लिए, वैसा मुझे नहीं पहनना.
So it's not that I have to put on a mask to show to the world like they put on masks. So this is not like that. I don't have to show to the world.
रियलिटी में जो रॉयल्टी है पर्सनैलिटी में, वो हमारे लिए साथ है.
If there is reality in my personality, then there is royalty, and that's what I like, and that's what people like as well.
हम छोटे थे और कोई मुझे खिलौना नहीं लगता, जरूरत नहीं थी. 3 बंदर का महात्मा गांधी के दिनों में था. That no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. वो हम अपने पास रखती थी.
When I was a little girl, I didn't like too many toys. I didn't play with too many toys, but there was a toy with 3 monkeys, and this was the days of Mahatma Gandhi. And he
कोई हमारे कमरे में कोई चीज नहीं थी.
Talk no evils, hear no evils, see no evils. So the monkeys with showing their hands against the eyes and the ears and the mouth. I like that picture a lot.
और तो जब ब्रह्मा कुमारी बनी ना, उसके पहले समझे think no evil.
And then when I became a Brahma Kumari, I started adding think no evil.
Evil का मतलब?
And what's the meaning of evil?
आपकी बात हो ना, तो देखो न सुनो, तो देखो सुनो, मैंने सोचा तो देखा, देखा तो सोचा, सुना तो सोचा.
So whatever
बोलना तो पीछे होता है, पर बोलना पर ऐसा ही हो जाता है, जैसा देखा सुना.
So evil means that which is useless. So if we see that which is useless, we think according to that. If we think that is useless, then we see according to that. And then if we hear something useless, we also think according to that. Talking comes much later on, but the seeing and the hearing is important, connected with the thinking.
आज एक एडिशन और आपको सुनाती हूँ.
And today one more addition I want to give you also.
मनुष्य अपने नाक का लाज रखते हैं.
People usually, the phrase is used that I want to maintain the pride of my nose.
दुनिया क्या कहेगी?
What will the world look at me and say?
जो कुछ करते हैं दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए, दुनिया क्या कहेगी?
Whatever they do it in order to show to the world that the world shouldn't speak such and
दुनिया को
such.
देख करके करते हैं.
And then they also look at the world and do.
भगवान कहता है थोड़ा शब्द से काम ले.
And God says to us, use your wisdom.
तो दुनिया में लाखों करोड़ों के बीच में होते हुए भी तो ऐसा एक आत्मा तो ऐसा मेरा बच्चा बन जा जो दुनिया देख करके बदल जाए तो मैं कहूँगा तू है मेरा बच्चा। नहीं तो बाकी सब भगवान को मुसीबतें याद करते हैं, जब बहुत मुसीबत आएंगी तो हे भगवान, बाकी सब क्या करते हैं, भगवान याद ही नहीं है भगवान।
God says to us that in the midst of, whilst living in the midst of hundreds and thousands of people who may be very negative, but you change your life in such a way that looking at you, many others can change. Otherwise, in this day and age, when we remember God, it's usually because we are in sorrow or we want Him to do something for us. But if we do the other way around, God will say, this is my true child.
वो अल्लाह, वो ईश्वर, वो गॉड नहीं करो, वो मेरा है, मैं उसका हूँ, वो करके नहीं करो।
Don't just keep calling out, oh God, oh Allah, oh Ishwar, different words for God, but just say that He is mine, you're mine.
सारा दिन रात श्वासोश्वास और संकल्प में मैं भगवान तेरा हूँ, तेरा होकर के मुझे क्या करना है, तुम्हारा सच्चा आज्ञाकारी वफादार ईमानदार बच्चा बन करके संसार में रहना है।
Day and night, through every breath, through every thought, just think that, oh God, I belong to you, I want to be yours, and I want to do what you want me to do. I want to be your obedient child.
भारत में ये सिस्टम बहुत अच्छी है, पर सब अभी नाम मात्र है, और हम कहते सच्चाई अंदर में है, हम ईस्ट वेस्ट कहाँ पर भी है, निर्मलता भाव से आपस में रह करके भगवान के सामने प्रॉमिस करते हैं, हम शांत प्रेम से रहें।
Yes, in India there is the custom of folding your hands and showing your respect. But even that is done in a very superficial way these days. And for me, I would say that wherever we are in the world, in whichever corner, but let's pray to God, let's think of God and say that, we want to live with each other very honestly. Let there be that humility from inside. And we promise to God we will live in peace.
कई कुदरती नियम बने हुए हैं, अगर हाथ में आप देते हैं तो राइट हाथ देते हैं, ऐसे नहीं लेफ्ट कोई देता या मैं कोई लेफ्ट देंगी, राइट हाथ अच्छा मिलकर के करो।
Naturally, there is the habit when you meet each other and greet each other, you greet with your right hand. It's not the left hand that's used usually.
जो ये भावना अंदर में है ना, मिल करके रहने की, मिल करके करने की, वो है प्राचीन सभ्यता में।
So this feeling of being together, living together, doing things together, actually comes from an ancient culture. तो
मिल करके करना मानो टाइम पास करने के लिए, मतलब एक काम के लिए मिल करके करना, और अंदर में फैमिली में भी देखेंगे ना, बात मिल करके कोई नहीं है, तो भाई बहन भी मिल करके नहीं रह सकते हैं, हस्बैंड वाइफ अंदर से मिल करके नहीं रह सकते हैं।
These days, even if people come together and do things together, but it's usually very superficial, and you see that even people who are in the same family, even brothers amongst themselves, sisters, even parents and children, they cannot live together harmoniously.
Wisdom कहा जाता है, सत्य में सच्चाई हो।
So there is the wisdom. Let there be truth in our understanding.
स्वार्थ की अंश न हो।
Let there not be even the trace of selfishness.
ब्रिटिश बड़ा सच्चाई ब्रिटिश अंदर की है ना, बिल्कुल भले की भावना वाली।
Let the attitude be constantly filled with feelings of bringing benefit.
आँखें है ना, क्या है? अंदर का पता चल जाता है इसके अंदर क्या है।
These eyes are like windows because you come to know what's happening inside through these eyes.
मुख से बोलने से थोड़ा पता चलता है और कान से पता नहीं चल सकता है।
You don't come to know.
आँख से पता चल जाता है इसके अंदर से क्या है।
Through the ears you don't come to know what's inside. Through the mouth you come to know maybe a little bit of what's inside, but through the eyes you come to know exactly what's inside.
मनुष्य समझते मेरे अंदर क्या है, कोई दिखता नहीं है मेरे को, परंतु भगवान तो देखता है, परंतु सब देखते हैं। ये नहीं समझते कोई कोई धोखे में आने वाले जो है ना वो नहीं देख सकते हैं या दुखी रहने वाले नहीं देखते हैं जो सच्ची है ना पता चल जाता है.
People think that, nobody knows what's inside of me. But usually, yes, if somebody who is honest, who is filled with truth, he's able to recognize what is there inside of each one.
अंदर से अपने अंदर से जो अंदर जो किचरा है ना फेंको बाहर.
So now what we need to do is throw away all the rubbish that we have inside.
साक्षी होकर के न्यारे बन करके अपन को देखो अंदर कितना मेरे अंदर किचरा है.
Become a witness to your own self, become detached, and see how much rubbish there is inside.
सफाई करो अंदर.
Cleanse your inside.
आजकल सफाई का तो जब मैं वेस्ट में आई ना भाई 8 सप्ताह में एक बार करके सफाई करते थे लंदन. लेकिन कैसे होगा अब तो बाहर रोज झाड़ू पोछा चलो क्योंकि ऐसी बदले जो बाहर से आती भी है डस्ट ठीक है चलता है तो चलो बाहर से डस्ट आए बटी आए सफाई में करके से चलता है.
When I came to the
बाहर से भी पिछड़ा था
When I came to the West, initially I saw that they used to clean their house just once a week, whereas in India the custom is to clean the house every day of the week. And then they said, usually it's because we close the windows and so no dirt can come in the house, so we don't need to clean the windows. Okay, Daddy says, even so, clean what is inside and also don't let the dirt come from outside.
तो अंदर से साफ रहना होगा. तो मैं जैसे फैमिली से बैठी हुई हूँ, मैं नहीं देखती बहुत लोगों के साथ बैठी हुई हूँ, अपने मेरे बहन भाइयों के साथ बैठी हुई हूँ.
I feel I'm sitting here with a family, even we are at such a large gathering, but I don't feel it's a huge gathering. I feel I'm sitting with my brothers and sisters here.
प्राचीन जमाने में बड़े क्या करते थे? सबको बैठ के अच्छी बातें सुनाते थे ताकि वो सुधर जाए.
In the ancient days, what did the elders do? They would bring together all the people of the family and talk about very good things so that everyone is reformed, is able to realize so that they're able to create a very good life for their future. Not only for one generation, but for generations together, that life should become good.
आजकल जहाँ तहाँ कहते हैं आप लोग बच्चों की क्या सोच रहे हो आजकल?
These days, everybody is asking, what are you doing? What are you thinking for the world? What are you planning for the children of the world?
विश्व के कोने-कोने में कहते हैं बच्चों के लिए आप क्या सोच? मैंने बच्चों आप कहते बच्चों आपने क्या किया? कहते बच्चों के लिए क्या सोच रहे हो?
And I asked them, what did you do for them? So that you're asking us what we are doing for the children.
बड़े समझ जाए तो बच्चे भी समझते हैं. आज के जनरेशन को
if the older ones understand, the children will also follow and understand.
उसमें कुछ नहीं करने का, बहुत मेहनत नहीं करने की है.
You don't have to make a lot of effort on them.
अंतर मन से अपने आप दिल है दर्पण पर मैल चल गई है बहुत. दर्पण को साफ करो.
Internally, you have to look at yourself because the mind is like a mirror, but a mirror that has accumulated a lot of dust, and so we have to start cleaning the mirror.
मन में ये ख्याल करो मुझे अभी अपने आप को सफाई करनी है. अपनी सफाई का मुझे और कल कुछ नहीं सोचने का है. सब अच्छा हो जाएगा. फिर उसके क्या होगा नहीं सब अच्छा हो जाएगा. पर मैंने मन को साफ करना है, सफा करना है. मुझे ये काम पहले करना है.
I have to have this thought that I want to clean my mind. Don't think about too much of what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. But have this very firm thought, focused thought that I first of all have to clean my own mind.
पहली वाला पिछड़ा सफा निकाल देना है अंदर सब. अंदर आत्मा जो दर्पण है ना साफ हो जाए ना फिर दिखाई पड़ेगा. हमारे पास गीत मुखराज देख ले प्राणी क्या पुण्य किए क्या पाप किए. अपन दर्पण में देख मैंने क्या किया है.
So whatever has been accumulated from the past, first that dirt has to be cleaned, and then when the mirror becomes clean, when the soul becomes clean, you'll be able to see very clearly. And so there's a song that goes, look at your face in the mirror of your mind.
ये बड़ी भूल हो जाती है फिर अपनी सफाई भी पूरी की नहीं है दूसरे के पिक्चर देखने शुरू कर देते हैं और वो शुरू किया ना फिर दर्पण की सफाई भूल गई फिर और कितना जमा हो गया.
It's a big mistake that we all do, that before finishing or cleaning our mind, we start looking at what is in the minds of others, what's dirty about their minds. And once you start doing that, it's like you're not cleaning your mind anymore.
हम अपने दर्पण को साफ करने लगते हैं ना तो भगवान भी देखता है. अब अच्छा मेरे बच्चा सब बातों को छोड़ सब बातों को भूल अंदर अपने गुस्सा तो अंदर से उसकी तरफ ध्यान चला जाता है वो हमारे पर ध्यान रखता है.
When we start cleaning ourselves, cleaning the inside, the mind, God also looks at us and He says, oh, this child has started cleansing himself, is very good. And then He starts taking care of us.
लोगों से पाप छिपाए और भगवान के सामने आया तो पाप दिखाई पड़े मैंने ये भगवान मैंने पाप किया मैंने ये पाप किया. बच्चा अच्छा बच्चा माफी मांगते हो ना मैं माफ तो क्या मैं तुम्हारे सारे पाप खत्म कर दूंगा. आज से मेरा बच्चा सच्चा बच्चा बन जा अच्छे कर्म करने का संकल्प करो तुम्हारी दृष्टि तुम्हारी वृत्ति तुम्हारी वाणी शुद्ध हो जाएगी.
So we have been hiding our sins, our negativities from the people of the world, but when we come in front of God, if we can see our negativities and mistakes, then tell honestly to God, oh God, these are my mistakes and I ask for forgiveness. And He will say, not only do I forgive you, but I also fill you with the strength to become pure, become better.
तो भगवान की तरफ से हमको मिली खजाना था शांति प्रेम खुशी शक्ति आनंद मेरे पास था गुम हो गया फिर से भी वापस लेने के लिए दर्पण को साफ किया बुद्धि श्रेष्ठ बन गई अच्छी देने वाला दाता दे रहा भगवान के कर ले लो.
I had received a lot of treasures from God, peace, love, happiness, power, bliss, but then I had lost it. And now when I start cleaning my mind, I start reclaiming it. And He says, oh child, take all of it.
ये खुशी की खुराक खाओ और खिलाओ.
And He says, keep eating this nourishment of happiness and also feed others with this nourishment.
विश्वास रखो कल अच्छा होगा भविष्य अच्छा होगा.
And have this faith that definitely everything will be all right, tomorrow will be fine, everything will be fine.
पास्ट की जो कल की भी बात हुई है ना अपनी जय औरों की भूल जा.
But whatever it is of the past, whether it is of your own self or of others, forget that, leave it aside.
ये बहुत जरूरी बात है.
This is
बहुत जरूरी बात.
very, very important.
कल की बात की किसी की मैंने सुनी देखी आज भूल गई असल याद नहीं है.
Even if it is something that I saw in someone or heard from someone yesterday, I should not remember it at all. And this is very, very important.
So, जो कल आने वाला है ना आज भगवान कहता है अब तुम अच्छा कर लो ना तो कल अच्छा होगा.
And about what's going to happen tomorrow, if you just pay attention to today, what you do today, definitely what's going to happen tomorrow will be very good.
इसको कहा जाता है wisdom.
This is called wisdom.
आज का ख्याल अब का ख्याल कर आज का भी अब का ख्याल कर.
Think about today and even in that, think about now.
उसमें एक जैसे मंत्र के रूप में मुझको याद रहता है.
I remember this in the form of a mantra.
मुझे क्या करना है?
What do I have to do?
भगवान कहता है तुम औरों की बातें मुझे मत सुनाओ और क्या करते तुमको क्या करने का है.
God also says to me, don't tell me about what others are doing, but you think about what you have to do.
समझ देता है रोशनी देता है.
He gives us the light of understanding, wisdom.
तो बचाइए.
My child, do it this way.
तुम करेंगे ना देख करके आप ही और करेंगे उसको सिखाओ मत कहो मत ये कर तुम करेंगे ना आप ही करेंगे तुम चिंता मत करो
So if you start doing it, then others automatically will see and follow. You don't have to tell them and teach them this, but they will naturally follow what you're doing.
दुनिया को proof चाहिए.
The world needs a proof.
बातें करने वाले बहुत है, पर इसको करता हुआ देखे.
There are many who talk about these things, but they need to see who are the ones who actually do it.
उसमें सच्चाई तो संपूर्ण सच्चाई. झूठे की अंश न हो तो विश्वास बैठे, नहीं तो विश्वास खत्म हो गया है.
There needs to be complete truth, not even an ounce of falsehood in it, so that people can start to have that faith and trust again.
चारों तरफ दुनिया में ना मनुष्य का न अपन विश्वास रहा है, न धर्म में विश्वास रहा है, न किसी इंसान में विश्वास खत्म हो गया है. न भगवान में विश्वास रहा है.
Human being has lost his faith, his trust in himself, in religion, in others, in God, in everything.
आत्मविश्वास, परमात्मा विश्वास, एकदम विश्वास पैदा करेंगे.
So we need to create this confidence. It's the confidence in the self, the faith in God, the trust in each other.
सच्ची दिल होंगी, भावना सच्ची है.
If the heart is honest,
बुद्धि में अपन में विश्वास करेंगे तो पर विश्वास बैठेगा.
if you do things that are honest, then you will start creating the feelings of trust.
हिम्मत रखेंगे, भगवान की मदद मिलेगी तो हो जाएगा.
If you keep courage, then you get a lot of help from God, and you will feel that yes, it's possible, it's done.
जब कोई कार्य हो जाता है कहते हैं भाई मुझे उम्मीद नहीं थी पर भगवान की मदद बहुत है. तो अभी ये मुझे बहनें कहती है सब यहाँ आज लोग भाई इतने लोग कैसे आ रहे हैं. तो भले आए जी आए.
When something is done and you didn't think it would happen, you usually say that, oh, it's God who made it happen. Even for today's program, the sisters were saying, we don't know how this all happened, how so many people were attracted. Because the way in which the program was created was with a lot of good feelings. And so naturally everyone got attracted and everybody came running for the program.
क्योंकि टिकट तो रखी नहीं. भावना सच्ची है, वो बड़ी टिकट वेलकम भले आओ जी आओ भले आओ कहाँ आओ सच सीखने के लिए आओ.
It's not that anyone, he had tickets in terms of money, but it was just the feelings that was the ticket. And so everybody was welcome and we said, okay, come and learn about truth.
अमेरिका और कनाडा के बादल पर बैठे हुए लोग सारे यहाँ से विश्व को अगर शांति और प्यार मिल जाए तो जैसा बड़ा दिन सुहावना दिन कितना सुंदर दिन होगा. सब एक कहेंगे मेरे पास शांति क्लास हो गया, शांति सुख प्रेम की गंगा बहने लगी है.
We are sitting in the border of the United States, America and Canada, and Daddy says, if all of us together here, he's my companion.
मुझे यात्रा पर जाना है.
I have to go on my journey.
स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी जब शुरू हो जाती है ना तो बस खुद ही उपराम हो जाती है, न्यारी हो जाती है, डिटैच हो जाती है. डिटैच न्यारी उपराम है.
When we start our spiritual journey, the intellect becomes detached, it becomes far distance and it goes above everything.
सच्चाई का बल ऊपर लेके जा रहा है. सबके लिए ये वाइब्रेशन. आप ही चलो, छोड़ो बातों को, छोड़ो पिछली पति को.
The power of truth takes us above everything else, and we feel that we want to leave behind all the dirt, the rubbish that had been accumulated from the world.
ये नहीं आज से कहना कैसे छोड़े.
Don't ask how to leave all of this.
ये नहीं कहना.
Don't ask how to do it.
छोड़ दो छूटेंगे.
Because if you leave, if you let it go, then it will leave.
शुरू में क्या पंछी और परदेसी दोनों नहीं किसी के नहीं.
We used to have this saying that the bird and the foreigner, they're both alike in the sense that they don't belong to anybody. They're not constant.
परदेसी है, असल देश तो हमारा वो है, भगवान का घर सुनेरा घर.
So we are also foreigners here. We are like birds here, and our true home is up there. And where we are living here is like a foreign land.
ईगो और अटैचमेंट के कारण गुस्से में आकर के लोगों में क्या मेरे हाल हो गया,
because of ego and attachment and getting angry and becoming jealous of each other, there's been such a bad condition.
अभी तो टाइम हो गया ना, टाइम हो गया, पर मैं बाकी एक मिनट में बात सुना देती हूँ.
God is aware the time is up, but I'm going to say just something very shortly.
मुझे लगता है मैं फैमिली के साथ बैठी,
because I feel I'm sitting with a family. I'm going to say this.
तो ये जो आँखें हैं ना, चेक करना अपनी आँखें.
Check your own eyes.
कामी की आँख कैसे होती है?
When someone is lustful, how do the eyes work?
क्रोधी की आँख कैसे होती है?
When someone is angry, how do the eyes work?
सब सुन रहे हैं दूर वाले. कामी की आँख कैसे होती है? बस उसके पीछे अंधा होता है.
Those who are sitting in the back also, Daddy wants to make sure that you're all listening and
क्रोधी की आँख
able to
कैसे होती
listen.
है?
That when someone has lust, how the eyes, they totally get lost. And with angry person, the eyes become red. The greedy person, they say, I want this, I want this, I want this. And the one who has attachment, and then someone who has ego, how will he be looking at everything? So if your eyes change, how good it will be. No lust, no anger, no greed, attachment, ego, none of these things in your eyes. I don't need anything and I have everything. So eyes become so good. That looking at everything, everyone, you become so happy. There is so much happiness, such bliss felt through the eyes.
भगवान भाग्य, एक या भगवान उसका मेरा भाग्य, तीसरा आपस में मिल करके कहेंगे ये संसार इतना सुखमय संसार अभी सच्चो अभी आ जाए फिर से कलयुग में छुट्टी दो.
So God and fortune, and then looking also at the world in front of us, that we feel that now it's time to bid farewell to the old age, the iron age, and welcome the new age, the golden age. Who is going to bring about that golden age? If you want to do it, just show with your hands to Dadi that we are the ones who will bring about the golden age. Individually, each one, feel from your heart and say, I will do it, we will do it together. We will bring about such a golden age on the planet, on the earth. We will bid farewell to the dark ages, the iron age. We will bring about this change. And we'll do this from the heart.
Thank you, Om
Thank you.
So I'd like us all now to proceed in a very special celebration called the Link of Love. Which actually comes from an old tradition, but it is one of the many global initiatives that the Brahma Kumaris have started. And so what is going to happen is that we are going to exchange with the person to our right or left in silence, which is most important, looking at each other and seeing a very special quality, and without saying it, sort of emitting that quality through the eyes. And how we will establish that is that if you've probably noticed in your program there is a link of love or a special rhythm. Okay, and I will bring to the stage now in order to demonstrate this coordinator for the Vancouver Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center, Shobna, Sister Shobna, and she will be tied in Link of Love by Daddy Jackie, and I just so happen to have some ribbons in my pocket. I'm going to have one tied by Sister Kala. You do this in silence, and whilst you're tying the ribbon, look into your partner's eyes and think of that special calling that you see. In silence.
You're all tied in its link of love. I invite you to breathe into this peace so that we can continue to experience that link of love in silence. And lead us also into a meditation. wisdom. And even having felt the truth behind the words, it's now our chance to stabilize ourselves in the experience of that truth. So all of us together, but each one of us individually, let us step into our inner world and feel that truth of our own being. That I am a living being, a being of light, sitting in this body, and it is I, this living being, this soul, that holds all the wisdom of the ages. I, the soul, know that I am a being of peace. The peace is my natural quality. And this quality of peace makes me see the happiness that can come from living my truth. In peace. I can feel the original and eternal link of love that I have with God. I can see myself child of God. And I can see God extending His palm of help just because I have decided and taken this first step of looking inside and feeling my own truth. And there is a new relationship that I now have with God. A relationship that allows me to experience faith in my own self, in each other, and in the world that we can all create together. And drawing on the ancient wisdom of the soul and the help from God, I look forward to living my life in wisdom. Om.